Hello everyone, I'm Thomas Kurian, CEO of Google Cloud. I'm thrilled to welcome you to our Retail and Consumer Packaged Goods Summit. During our time together, you'll hear from leading retailers and brands like IKEA, Ulta, Albertsons, L'Oreal, and many more about how they're transforming their business with our cloud capabilities. You'll also hear from other teams across Alphabet who will share important insights on consumer behavior and trends. Our goal is to both inform and inspire you with the intent that we leave you excited about how we can help you succeed. Before we move into today's programming, I want to acknowledge the tremendous effort you and your companies have made to ensure customer needs were met during the pandemic. People across the entire globe have relied on the ingenuity of retail and CPG companies to meet critical needs, from buying groceries to having basic goods and services delivered to their homes in a safe manner. As I reflect on the past year, I see how your industries are transforming, and rapidly. For instance, Procter & Gamble is creating a consistent, unified view of the consumer and using that to power omni-channel consumer journeys and build more connected, sustainable products that are future-ready. Albertsons Companies is transforming itself by reinventing grocery shopping, both the digital and the physical aisle, through shoppable maps, artificially intelligence-powered conversational commerce, predictive grocery building lists, and many other ideas. This kind of progress happens when leaders like you have a vision about what is possible with cloud technology. There's tremendous potential for retailers and brands who continue to embrace this moment and this moment of change. Our organization is structured to support and to help you accomplish your objectives. And our goal is to help you bring together the diverse capabilities and expertise of Alphabet to accelerate your transformation and to help you rapidly respond to changing consumer dynamics. We thank you for joining us today and with investing your time to listen to our speakers. We're excited to continue our collaboration and to deepen our relationships with you. Now I'd like to introduce you to Piedad Rodriguez, Director of Human Truths on our Advanced Brand Acceleration team at Google. Piedad runs a team of human behavior experts whose mission is to guide meaningful customer connections and consumer connections through data-powered human insights. We felt it was important for us to start our time today with these insights. I hope all of you enjoy the rest of this event. Piedad, over to you.
Thank you, Thomas. I'm excited to be here today to share some of the consumer trends my team has been analyzing as the world continues to deal with the COVID pandemic. As Thomas mentioned, my name is Piedad Rodriguez, and I lead a team at Google called Human Truths. Yes, that's our real name. My team goal is to help brands and retailers like yourselves think differently about people through insights we derive from Google data, so that you can create more meaningful connections with consumers. We all know that a lot has changed in the last year in terms of how people shop. We saw in-store shopping become more functional as people just wanted to get in and out quickly to find out what they needed, with fewer trips, larger basket sizes, and less time spent in store. Meanwhile, online became more experiential. While the physical aspects of shopping are not easily replicated online, and consumers definitely miss them, what we found is that many are exploring products and brands that they wouldn't have otherwise considered. For CPG products, discovery used to be a major reason people would shop in store, with nearly 50% listing it as their top reason. Now, 70% of consumers have bought a brand that they've discovered through YouTube. Similarly, people used to prefer shopping in stores because of the touch and feel experience. With COVID, a similar percentage say they actually don't feel safe trying out products in store, and 63% of consumers even prefer to try products from the comfort of their own homes. Finally, when it comes to buying, 50% previously said that they would never buy a CPG product online. But now, nearly 3 out of 4 people do exactly that. With such transformational changes in how people are shopping, we often get asked about the shopping behaviors we think will last post-COVID. So that's when we turn to Google data to understand the behaviors that have changed throughout the pandemic. As you can see on the chart, at the beginning of the pandemic, people were turning to known brands. We saw the curve of branded terms in Google search surpassing generic terms. But then, towards the end of 2020 and into 2021, we saw that this trend has reverted, with generic terms now surpassing branded terms. And the way we explain this is that at the height of anxiety, people had a need for trust, and so they went back to what they knew. But now we see more generic searches that show people are exploring and evaluating their choices. And with that exploration and evaluation, we see what we call the messy middle between inspiration and purchase. This is what before we thought of as more of a linear funnel, but we don't see people searching in order going from discovery to purchase in one session. So it becomes hard to decipher whether or not someone is in the awareness area or if they're in the purchase area. In the end, shopping behaviors are no longer aligned with the classic purchase funnel, as consumers have new demands and expectations driven by the acceleration of the switch online. To uncover what these new demands and expectations are, we started by looking at search data across CPG categories. We first looked at a year-over-year perspective and saw a 25% increase in search volume. From there, we saw that this incremental volume was driven by the 6 distinct types of searches that you can see on the slide, ranging from transactional searches to content searches and upper funnel inspiration searches. And from there, 3 big themes emerge. We call these themes elevated expectations. And they're elevated because while these existed before, they got elevated with the pandemic. They are elevated convenience, with the expectation of more ease and convenience both online and offline. Elevated value, with the expectation of value that goes beyond price. And elevated serendipity, where consumers expect an experience that is fun and exciting. So now I'll take you through these expectations in more detail. To understand elevated convenience, we looked at all the search queries that included terms related to convenience, where volume growth continued even after the initial shock period of the first half of 2020. We call that growth stickiness. The keywords that maintained stickiness in the second half of 2020, as you can see, were searches like click and collect, subscription, delivery, and buy online. These are all transactional searches, and these are the types of searches where we saw the highest COVID shock effect in the first half of 2020, and where we've seen the most continued growth or stickiness after the initial shock. We also saw growth and stickiness in the question type queries. Questions like which and where to buy, pointing toward possible behaviors of product selection online and purchase offline. So, for brands and retailers, it's important to guide consumers through these convenience-related queries to make it easy and convenient for them to purchase. One of the brands that did a great job with preempting and addressing consumer questions is Guerlain. Guerlain is, for those of you who are not familiar with it, a luxury brand. And what you're looking at here is an example of what's called a 3D swirl ad. Guerlain plays in the perfume space. And in this space, it's of course important for consumers to have the ability to touch and feel and experience the product. In the pandemic, when consumers could no longer go into a store, the brand used these 3D ads to allow people to explore every angle of the product, recreating the experience and sensations of discovering a product in person. The ad includes visuals that allow consumers to understand the scent profiles and help the product come to life. And they have results to show that these types of ads increase purchase intent by 3.5 times and improve their brand favorability. Guerlain made it easy for consumers to discover their new product. So that's elevated convenience. In terms of elevated value, it's interesting to see that searches for non-price value are growing twice as fast as price-based value searches. We saw growth and stickiness in searches for top, is it worth it, comparison searches, or searches that qualify a product with or without something else. And we also saw searches related to personal value grow as people more and more want to see themselves reflected in the brands that they buy. These are searches like for me, searches around Black-owned, sustainability, and ethical sourcing. Brands and retailers, therefore, need to ensure that they're clearly communicating how they provide value to their consumers beyond price. An example of elevating value comes from Ritz crackers. Ritz partnered with YouTube Brand Connect to make their new product feel personally relatable to consumers through a creator-driven model. This campaign brought their fun and uplifting message to the forefront through the lens of relevant creators who were seamlessly able to create product-forward content. By making their product feel personally relatable, highlighting product and personal value in a fun way, Ritz generated positive results in terms of awareness and ad recall, and ultimately drove trial. Lastly, our final elevated expectation is serendipity. You can tell that window shopping moved online, with consumers searching for things like ideas and inspiration. We also saw growth and stickiness in sensory queries around look, feel, and scent, with consumers trying to explore products online rather than in store. These types of queries highlight that consumers have elevated their expectations of what a digital experience should be. And addressing this elevated expectation, L'Oréal Paris has created some really amazing experiences with YouTube's AR Try-On, where consumers can virtually try on a beauty product. What's really interesting about serendipity here is that L'Oréal is providing an experience that goes beyond what you might even be able to do in a traditional offline setting. In a drugstore, you may not always be able to actually try on the product. And what L'Oréal has done is to make it as simple and fun as possible to find out what you look like with different colors and shades of lipstick. And the beauty of this is that people are all of a sudden exploring outside the colors or products they had been their go-to for so long. L'Oréal had strong results, as you can see, with 3 times incremental conversion rate and 7 times incremental time spent on the digital assets. This opens many opportunities as you imagine what this looks like for hair color and other product categories. You can actually learn more about L'Oréal in our CPG Spotlight session today. As we looked into these elevated expectations, we realized that CPG brands and retailers can learn a lot across categories. Food and beverage brands, who were so great at convenience, now have to think about serendipity. And beauty brands, who were so great at serendipity, now have to think about convenience. There are many functional and experiential opportunities that can be unlocked by understanding these elevated expectations. And by fulfilling these expectations, shoppers will follow. So, what does this mean for you? How can you take this information and these ideas and insights and turn them into action for your organization? We've designed content for you today to help you do just that. Our goal is to empower you to become data-driven, breaking down data silos to truly understand your customer and their elevated expectations. We want you to embrace the digital moment by creating always-on experiences that increase engagement and conversion with your customers. And we want to help you transform your operations by creating efficiencies with the cloud and improve collaboration across businesses. I encourage you to attend the sessions today from a point of curiosity. Ask questions and make the space to really focus. Finally, thank you to our sponsors and partners who work with us to ensure customers within the retail and CPG industries continue to thrive in this ever-changing landscape. Make sure to check out their content in the Partner Insights track. Thank you so much from myself, the entire Human Truths team, and Google Cloud. We're so excited to see what you can continue to do to transform these experiences for your consumers today and in the future. Thank you.